I want to add my voice in giving thank you to all the different organizations who put this together and to the members and staffers who helped and in fact the whole institution of the United States Congress. I have 4 points to make. 3 of them are questions. First question is, why should the U.S. Congress care? This is a story in the heart of Africa. One set of Africans killing other Africans. So what has it got to do with Americans? What has it got to do with the United States Congress? My second question is, you know, if you look at the map of Africa, Congo is the regional giant, and it is very rich in terms of natural resources. And so how is it that the regional giant is so weak and prostrate that the neighboring pygmies, if I might use the terminology in just a sense of size, how is it that they are able to come in and do whatever they want? How is it that the Congo, the giant, is not able to protect its territory and to protect its people? And my third question then is, if Rwanda, why not the Congo? I will use my remaining 2 minutes to explain why I'm asking these questions. And the first 2 questions, what has it got to do with us? And why is the Congo not able to protect itself? Of course, I'm asking them because I have an answer. I'm not a lawyer, but I've been told lawyers have been trained, don't ask a question for which you don't know the answer. So I know the answers to these questions. The first 2 questions, actually, I answer them with 2 words. Friendly tyrants. If you look at why should the United States care? Well, Africa has been independent roughly half a century. If you look at U.S. relations with Africa, there's a pattern running through our U.S. policy with Africa, and that is the United States supports certain undemocratic, tyrannical governments, and the diplomats themselves call them friendly tyrants. If you look at the Congo, and the second question is, why is the Congo so weak? Well, the Congo was run by Mr. Mobutu for more than 30 years. He is the poster child of an African-friendly tyrant who was supported by the West. So the point that I'm making with my first 2 questions is, when you are looking at the atrocities in the mapping report, the thing that should jump out to you is we have bookends of friendly tyrants supported by the West. Mobutu made the Congo so weak that it can't protect itself. As was mentioned, of the 6 countries that went into the Congo, most of the crimes were committed by national armies of Rwanda and Uganda. Both the current presidents of Uganda and of Rwanda, I categorize them as the current day set of friendly tyrants, again supported by the United States. So I think that when we are talking about what happens next, what should be done with the report, the point that I'm emphasizing is that one of the things that the U.S. can help with is to start rolling back this policy of supporting dictators in foreign countries and move towards supporting democratic institutions in those countries. This is a position I've been on for quite a while, but as coincidence will have it, in the past month or so, we've all seen what has been happening in the Middle East and North Africa, where a whole series of dictators who have been supported for a number of years are collapsing. My argument is that it's not even in U.S. interest to be supporting dictatorships, and that what has happened in the Congo is a sign of the wreck that supporting of dictators brings about. And my final question was, if Rwanda, why not the Congo? And I know this is not an obvious question, but here is what I'm saying. You know, of course we had a genocide in '94 in Rwanda, and one of the follow-ups was the International Criminal Tribunal. 1 million people were killed in Rwanda, some say 800,000. Well, we are talking about 5 million, 6 million in the Congo. And my question is, how is it that we can cry tears and push for accountability on 1 million Rwandans killed? And as an African born in Ghana, a Pan-Africanist, it tears me out to imagine that But precisely because of that, I think we should take the killings in the Congo as seriously as we take the killings in Rwanda. Thank you very much.
Thank you.